and welcome back for another video. In today's video, I'm just going to bring you along with me in my kitchen, and I have about 4 things that I am going to prep for this upcoming week. If you are new here, my name is Tashina and I'm a homeschooling mama to 3 girls. I have a 16-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 6-year-old. I post every single week and my channel is all about motherhood. So from cooking to cleaning, day in the lives, and some motherhood encouragement, that pretty much sums up my channel. So if those are things that you are interested in, I would love to have you subscribe. I am going to be gone for about 4 days, so I want to make sure I have some things in the freezer just to make it a little bit easier for my husband. Yes, he can cook and take care of everything on his own, but I'm gonna set him up with a couple of things that he can pull from the freezer, and then I figure the other couple of days they might go get something to eat, but I'm going to go ahead and get those prepped. That way it's just easy for us to grab and go. Going to be prepping are the prized pig. I have never made this before, but I saw it on Magnolia Table and it looks really yummy. My husband loves a good biscuit, so this is a biscuit that has bacon, cheese, and chives in it, so I'm gonna make that. I'm also going to be making some homemade English muffins. First time doing that, and I'm going to prepare some breakfast sandwiches for the week. I'm also going to make a lasagna and just have that ready to pull out of the freezer when they are ready for a meal. And I'm just gonna prep some sloppy joes. It's really easy, but it is so yummy. So I'm gonna get that prepped, and that way you can pull that out and just have fries as a side. But let's get in the kitchen and get going. I'm gonna start with the English muffins first. So I'm just starting with some milk because I need to get it warmed on the stove so it will activate the yeast. And then I'm going to go ahead and warm up and prep my cast iron, because while I'm doing that and waiting, I can go ahead and be cooking the breakfast sausage. So once everything is done, then I can just assemble everything and get that prepped and ready for the freezer. That way when we want a breakfast sandwich, we can just grab one and easily warm one up. The yeast bubbled up so nicely. Look at all of that. Gonna pour that in here, and make sure to check out the description box before you guys go, because that's where all of the recipes will be linked, and of course my Amazon favorites will be linked there as well. have to rise for about 30 minutes, so I'll go ahead and get the cast iron heated up because you put these in the cast iron. I don't know, I was just thinking I would bake them, but you put them in the cast iron for about 10 minutes all together. And that's how you get that nice kind of like golden color on your English muffin. These came out so good. My husband was even impressed with them because he's not a huge English muffin person, but he really liked them. And then once I actually made the sandwiches and put them in the freezer, they do reheat really nicely and they are just so yummy. Next up is the prize pig. I saw this on the Magnolia Table, the episode the other day, and I was like, you know what, my husband would really like that. He loves a biscuit, so that's something that I can prep for him and he can just pull out of the freezer when he wants to warm himself up a biscuit. So this recipe turned out really good as well. And it makes a lot of biscuits, so I did just kind of flash freeze them and then just store them in the freezer so that he could pull them out one at a time if he wanted. I absolutely love this Our Place Wonder Oven. You guys, I use it more than I do our oven now. It is just so good and I feel like it's not heating up the entire house and it doesn't take forever to cool down and it's just really compact and it does air frying, baking, toasting, roasting, all of the things in one little device. I'll have it linked down below in case you are wanting something similar, but it was a really good gift. I love it. And I have to share a story about this mixer because I had wanted a KitchenAid mixer for such a long time, but they are spendy, super spendy. And when Mark and I first got together, me and one of our neighbors at the time decided to go to this church garage sale around the corner, and there was this KitchenAid mixer. The lady was so nice. She even like plugged it in to show me that it worked, and she let me have it for $20, you guys. $20. That is insane. She said that some sweet girl at their church, it was practically brand new, but she had put another one on her wedding registry that was like, I think the light blue, and she got that for her wedding, so she decided to donate this one to the church. But I got this for $20 and it has been going strong 4 years. These turned out really good. They actually ended up getting done about the same time dinner was almost done, and I made like meatloaf and mashed potatoes, so I just let everybody have one of these with their dinner, and Mark was a fan. Now we are moving on to Sloppy Joes. Now this is not the Sloppy Joe stuff like out of the can. I have a confession. Sorry, Mom. I hated Sloppy Joes. Like when my husband mentioned like a few months ago that he was in the mood for Sloppy Joes, I just kind of made a face because I just did not like Sloppy Joes. And so I was like, well, I'll find a recipe on Pinterest, and this one looked really good, and it is so delicious. It is so easy to bring together, but the flavors are so wonderful. Highly recommend that you try, and it's a easy kid-friendly meal if your kids are picky eaters. Pretty much just let it cook down till all of that beef broth is just kind of absorbed in the meat, and then serve it. That is pretty much it. Just warm up some buns and some fries and you're good to go. So I'm going to use the same pan and go ahead and do my Italian sausage for the lasagna that I am making. And we're just going to go ahead and use those green bell peppers and onions that I had already diced up for the Sloppy Joes in my lasagna. I don't typically do this, but I had it already chopped and I needed to use it up, so I'm just going to incorporate it here. I will have a lasagna recipe linked below for you that I loosely followed, and I say that because I loosely follow every recipe, kind of meaning like if I don't have one particular cheese, I might use another if I already have it. If I have to go to the store and get it, then of course I will buy the cheese that is recommended in the recipe. But I do pivot a lot depending on what I already have on hand and the items that I need to use up. So with these oven ready lasagna noodles, you do have to add some liquid to it when it cooks. It actually like softens the noodles. And I'm using this leftover tin foil like pan that I had, and it's not quite deep enough, but that is okay. I wanted to use this pan in case Mark wants to take the leftovers to work. Then I don't have to worry about him bringing back one of my nice pans and leaving a good one at the fire station. I don't want that to happen. So you'll kind of see I pour in some beef broth to just kind of make sure there's enough liquid for the noodles. I do like to use a chicken broth or a beef broth depending on what the recipe is for any liquid that is needed. It just helps with the flavor so much. Lasagna is almost wrapped up, so I am going to spray some tin foil so it doesn't stick to the top of all of this cheese, and I'm gonna write the instructions for baking. I did let him know ahead of time, hey, it's gonna take you almost an hour to cook this, so it's not gonna be quick. Just put it in the oven and let it go. I didn't want him to think it would take like 15 minutes to cook, so I did prepare him for that. They do have some like Texas toast in the freezer as well that they can have with that. And then when I store my sloppy joe mix, I just put it in a freezer bag, but I make sure to lay it flat because it thaws so much faster that way. If you found value in today's video, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing because I do post weekly and I am active on some other accounts that I will have linked below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in next week's video. Bye, friend.